Welcome, students. The conditions between India and Bangladesh are to be explored because there's an interim government that is about to form under the leadership of Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. In this crucial juncture, as his economist, let's hope that the trade as panacea, this trade and investment of India would actually govern the relationship between Bangladesh and India, because the similar turmoil when we experienced when it comes to Sri Lanka, India benefited, but Indian investment sunk when it comes to Afghanistan's Taliban incident. So, this trade is to be seen. Essentially, India has infrastructure projects which India can't lose and let the investment sunk, because India's investment is around $13 billion, which is very huge. So, one after the other, let's look at why infrastructure projects matter, not just because we invested in it. Along with that, we need a robust connectivity to our northeast. And let's see one after the other how each matters. The first one is about Agartala Akhura railway link. If you can look at the map here, from Kolkata, it goes all the way to Dhaka and reaches Akhura and Agartala's connection, where we have Tripura's link from Bangladesh, Akhura. Along with that, we also have connectivity with Chittagong, where it is important to know that many of those people in the Sylhet province were during partition were visiting India and they expected India to be helping them. Okay, so understanding this, the length of this railway costed us 1255 crores, but more than that, it saves huge cost. Rather than going from Chicken Neck corridor and reaching northeast, you can use Bangladesh as connectivity link. Of course, Bangladesh also benefits with the charge it gets as a fee that it charges at toll gates here and also at exits. Now, this is one part of it. And this is important for another reason, not just to boost the people to people ties, because India's trade with Bangladesh is mostly out of SAFTA. You know SAFTA, right? South Asian Free Trade Agreement, under which zero tariffs would be charged. But India Bangladesh trade is not under SAFTA majorly. So, this bilateral agreement needs this routes, and most of the goods that we export include engineering goods, steel. Why steel is important? If you understand, even northeast needs a lot of steel to construct, and this steel would be given there. Next one is about luxury goods like gold and diamond jewelry. Along with this, we ship food items as well, both meat along with what you call as the rice. Now, having said this, the next part is about a port which is Mongla port. And this Mongla port is more important for good shipping. And this shipping is important because India accounts for 12% of total trade Bangladesh has. And remember the same figure, this 12% is India's share of exports. Among 100 exports that India does, 12% goes to the neighboring state of Bangladesh. This is where Bangladesh becomes important, and India is also dependent on few goods that ship from Bangladesh, and this Chittagong's connectivity with Mongla port matters a lot, because water being the cheapest mode of transport, and this helps us create a better connectivity, and this helps us connect with other three states of India as well, if you can continue this with the earlier said railway link. Imagine from Mongla port you go to Chittagram, and from there using this connectivity if you can go to Tripura, it helps us reach northeast faster than what we anticipate, rather than taking this Akuna-Agartala railway link. So this is the prominence of these two projects together. And the third one is significant because we have a power project by name Maitri. Remember this name? Maitri Super Thermal Power Project. And this is important because to have over a transmission lines from Chicken Neck corridor is dangerous. So if you look at the location, it is in Bangladesh. It helps us export our power as well. Along with that, it takes power from this Maitri Super Thermal project to transport it to our northeast. Northeast is not as urbanized as we used to. So northeast needs power, and it takes from the hinterland through this NTPC, Bangladesh Power Development Board, along with BHEL, has a private venture together, and they are implementing this project. So these things involved in it, and India and Bangladesh traditionally are apparel exporters. So India and Bangladesh utilize the cheap labor to produce products, garments and apparel from companies like US Polo, Ralph Lauren, etc. So this is something which is interesting, where we can collaborate. India and Bangladesh being two top producers of jute will also help them do the same thing. They can combinedly export their products. So for all these things, infrastructure matters, and infrastructure is jeopardized when we don't have better ties with each other. Having said this, hope you understood this criticality. Then let's come to the proper tourism. Unlike normal tourism, the high yielding tourism between two not so developed countries is interesting. There is huge medical tourism from Bangladesh. When I say medical tourism, this is very much high yielding because they don't just visit places, they pay to save their lives. We all know that when we pay to save lives, we don't think much about the expenditure unless we have insurance, right? So this is high yielding. And the second thing, the same infrastructure projects are taken to transport liquid oxygen. In COVID time, we know how important it was. So with all these things, the kind of trade we have with Bangladesh is very much favorable, and losing major export partner is detrimental for India's growth in external sector, and India's exports may take a toll. For this reason, we need to understand how important infrastructure projects and how the logistics makes our exports competitive, even to connect to other northeast states and also ASEAN region. Hope you understood things which are relevant for your prelims and mains examination together with comprehensive study of these infrastructure projects. So another day I'll be back before you with better content, and let's analyze better topics in next coming days. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.